Transplant. Noun. An operation in which an organ or tissue is transplanted. So, after this operation, people cope in different ways. And here at Winning Mentality, we are looking at the benefits of sport to the transplant community. In a featured series about the impact of sport, and in particular the transplant games, we'll chat to athletes who've represented regionally and nationally in an attempt to shed the light on the transplant sporting world. Welcome to Winning Mentality. Welcome to Transplants. So today we are joined in the first episode of the Transplant special. I don't know what to kind of call it, but it's going to be something nice and fancy. We are joined by Lucy and Zoe, two guests. We'll mostly be joined by one in this, but you guys share like it sounds, as Zoe said, it sounds like you hate being said to be called cute, but the cute story of the transplants has come together and united you both. But how are you guys anyway? You okay?
Yeah, enjoying lockdown as it continues and keeps continuing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So Lucy is a friend of my... Was that a friend? A sister of my friend. I was going to say a friend of my sister. I was like, No. And Zoe is her partner, which is brilliant stuff and brought together by Transplant. But Zoe, we'll start with you. So talk to me about your transplant. How did it come about, basically?
I had my transplant 10 years ago from my mum, a kidney. I was born with a condition called Russell-Silver syndrome, and it basically means that everything I have two of, one of them doesn't quite work right. I needed the transplant because things started to go downhill and things started to fail, so I did a year and a half on dialysis, and then we had the transplant, and here we are.
Here we are, indeed. And Lucy?
So I'm not entirely sure of the origins of mine. I've kind of always been an ill child, didn't really know any different, but my kidney function slowly started getting worse towards the end of primary school, so I was about 10, 11. Fortunately, it was only on dialysis for about 10 weeks, and then my dad gave me his kidney 10 years ago. We had ours a month apart at different ends of the country, as it turns out.
Absolutely. So for both of you, we'll start again with you, so we'll just go back and forth. So getting it from a family member, do you think that was sort of a better thing or a worse thing? Do you think it was, which would have you preferred if you'd had the choice?
I don't think I really had a choice.
No.
At that point. It was kind of do it now or, well, not at all.
Yeah.
But the fact that my mum stood up and said, I'll fix this, basically was, well, it's truly inspiring, isn't it? But I didn't really have a choice.
No, absolutely. And Lucy?
Likewise, I didn't really have a choice. They knew it was going to happen eventually, one way or the other. Both of my parents put themselves forward. They were amazingly both matches, but my dad was ever so slightly better, so they went with his. But I think we were both fortunate in the fact that ours was planned and we didn't really have the wait that most other people do. We weren't constantly staring at the phone going, oh, will it ring today? So in that sense, I think we were really, really quite lucky that we had matches in the family.
Talk to me about how you guys actually met for the first time.
We've gone through this, I don't know how many times, and we're not actually sure. We think it was Zoe's third transplant games and my second transplant games in Sheffield in 2013. We think we played badminton against each other when it was the only time our age categories crossed over. I think that was about it, but then I can't remember when we were properly introduced, probably when you were looking for a badminton partner prior to 2017 in North Lanarkshire. I think that's when we properly started to get to know each other. Yeah, so it's been a long time coming.
I'd seen you play before, and my doubles partner, who was my doubles partner at the time, had decided she wasn't going to the game, or going to be competing at the games, and needed a partner. I'd seen Lucy play before, so well, I kind of asked her if she fancied being my partner for that game. And
She thought
had a partner things.
she thought I was going to be really bad. Honestly, she won't tell anyone, but she thought it was going to be rubbish. But I knew Zoe was quite good, so I tried to match up. So I spent the year training with the uni team to try and do her proud, and it paid off in the end.
Absolutely. So Zoe, how did you first get into sort of badminton? Was it always a sport that you were passionate about?
My granny, who is no longer here, she played badminton a lot at quite a high level in Scotland and out of Scotland. When I was about 6 or 7, she took me to the local sports centre to just have a shot, see what I thought, and I made a run. So she decided that I wasn't really allowed to stop, and joined a local club from there, and progressed on through a lot of different development squads and that kind of stuff, and then had my transplant and started the games, and then got GB selection and that kind of stuff like that.
And Lucy, it was a little bit later on for you, wasn't it?
Much later. I mean, I played the odd game of badminton in the garden like every child has, but no, it was. I mean, I'd played it at the games from about, well, when I started, I played badminton, so from 2012, but that was only just because it was one of the sports I roughly knew the rules for. I'd done it at school once or twice, and that was about it. But yeah, no, it wasn't until I got to uni, and I picked up both table tennis and badminton once I got to uni, just to see how they both were, and I was much better suited for badminton, as I would tell you. My table tennis skills are shocking. So yeah, just picked up at uni and carried on from there, and then 2017 was when it really got serious.
Yeah, so talk to me about your first games together. How did it go? Was it successful?
So our first games. Yeah. Our first games as a partnership, 2017, was in North Lanarkshire, which is just south of Glasgow. It was very successful. We came away with a gold, which frankly I wasn't expecting. Zoe was hopeful that she was expecting, but I obviously wasn't. It was my first ever gold that I've ever got at a games. So we just added it to a numerous collection of already golds. So
No, I did say that, and with a new partnership, you have to, in any sport, when you put a doubles pairing together, they have to be able to work towards it and work together to find each other's strengths and each other's weaknesses. Obviously, with Lucy living the other end of the country from me, and we had never played together, I wasn't expecting to do as well as what we did. So it was more of a chemistry match on the court than it was anything else.
Yeah, and do you think that after that, obviously you guys got to know each other, now you're together, it's great stuff, but then do you think that if you hadn't got a gold, maybe it would have been slightly different?
Might have been a bit bitter to start with, but
no. I genuinely, as I said, it's about building the partnership. So as I said, I wasn't expecting anything the first year that we went to play together. I was just kind of expecting us to find levels to build on. So I think that we would have still been there because Lucy is, she's worth building on. She's got lots of aspects in our games that are weaker on my side, so we complement each other. So to be able to work on that to get higher up the podium we would have probably ended up right here anyway.
Yeah, and so have you guys ever gone into the sort of the singles game? Do you think you do well against each other in that respect? Do you think that would happen?
I think they purposely split us up, to be fair. We do play, we both play singles, but I have a funny feeling they purposely separate us because they don't think it's going to end well. I think it would be fine. We play singles against each other training, and to this day I have never beaten Zoe. I got 18-21 once, except I found that she played the whole game with her left hand. So she is far better at singles than I am, but I am putting that to her years of practice. And I just have a lot of catching up to do.
Singles was always my game. Growing up, it was always my main aspect, playing in for my county and that kind of thing. It was always my thing because I'm a very competitive player. It's honest, if you had a school report card for badminton, you'd probably say it does not work well with others. because I can get quite angry and quite aggressive, and obviously it's towards myself, and trying to portray that to somebody else, that when I turn around and say a nasty word, I don't mean it at them, I mean it at myself. So singles was always my game. I would say within the past 20 years, I've probably been a better singles player than doubles, but when playing with Lucy, it's a completely different game, to be honest.
Do you find yourself getting just as angry when Lucy's on the court with
It's
you?
worse.
No, definitely not. I actually feel I'm a lot calmer.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, no, I am a lot calmer because you turn around and tell me to behave.
No, yeah,
During the singles in Newcastle in the World Games in 2019, I had equally really tough semi-finals in both the doubles with Lucy and in the singles. I played against another lass from Great Britain in the semi-final, and I managed to edge her out just 2-1, just literally by the skin of my teeth. But it was a very, very rough game in the singles, and then we did the same with the same score in the doubles the next day. And I was mentally abusive towards myself in the singles, whereas in the doubles, I had Lucy standing beside me going, "Will you calm down?" And I'm going, "Yeah, sorry, I'm on it." But yeah.
It's great stuff. So, Lucy, you guys appeared in a BBC documentary a while back. So, how did that come about, and was it something that you enjoyed being involved with?
I mean, it was an experience. I'm not sure how it came about. I would
say it was interesting.
It was. I think we were approached. I think they approached Zoe initially because obviously of the distance and the fact that she's come all the way from Shetland, and then they discovered I existed and decided it might be a more interesting piece to have us both together. But we were followed like sheep from June to, so we were followed through our last training session in Coventry, and then throughout our badminton matches in the British Games, and then for the 2 days of competition in Newcastle. So yeah, I mean, I dealt with most of the post-match interviews so it got a little bit mad or stressed or whatever, but we coped.
There was only one I was not able to speak with, and that was all. But no, it was before you even managed to grab your water bottle. There was a camera right in your face. Going, and how did you feel? It was like, I feel like I need a drink. Go in.
I'll on the floor.
Yeah.
But the guys that were doing it, but they were really good about it anyway. I had a bit of a moment after one of them. We really should have won a game that we didn't. And it was like right to the wire kind of thing. And I had a bit of a moment. I need to go and talk to myself in the bathroom, so I'm just leave Lucy with you. So I did. So I just walked away. Nope. So
yeah, it's certainly something different, especially when you haven't experienced anything just sort of remotely like it. And Zoe, you're from is it Shetland you're from? Am I being right?
It is the Shetland Isles.
Yeah, the Shetland Isles. So it's sort of a crazy. We'll get back to the sort of transplant thing. So you're in like a long way away. So how difficult have you found sort of like the traveling and stuff like that when it comes to both hospitals and health stuff and sport?
Traveling is obviously a massive factor of my games experience, because of the fact that I live 260 miles north of Aberdeen. It's a 12 to 14 hour ferry to Aberdeen, so you're already taking a day out of your journey before you've even got onto the British mainland. Things cost a lot more. Like, a lot of people could just jump in a car and go somewhere and then get a hotel, whereas I have to get a ferry and a train and a flight and just to go and compete. But I think I said to someone not that long ago that you can't really put a price on it. Like, if I didn't want to do it, then I wouldn't do it. Whereas like my hospital appointments are in Aberdeen, so I either have to get a flight in the morning do the hospital appointment and fly back at night, or I get the boat the night before, like travel through the night and then do the hospital appointment and then the boat home the next night. So it's tiring, really. You almost need a holiday after coming back from the games, just because you're that tired.
Yeah. Lucy, how do you find, obviously, Zoe being so far away? Like, it must be kind of difficult for you guys.
Thanks for reminding me. I mean, I love it up there anyway, so I class going to see Zoe in Shetland as my holiday. I love traveling anyway, so going up there is brilliant. I'm quite happy to, depending if the weather's nice, I'm quite happy to jump on the 12 to 14 hour ferry. If the weather's going to be horrible, I'd rather fly. But yeah, I don't think people quite appreciate how far north she is. You can say Shetland and people go, oh yeah, that's Scotland, whereas it's like, it might as well be Norway.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And for your guys, like, how often do you guys sort of see each other in and outside of the games? Is it largely based on badminton when Zoe comes down?
Badminton or Christmas, to be fair.
No, last year was pretty good because I was I had a lot of time off last year, and I was able to spend a lot more time on the mainland, traveling down to see her. Whereas this year, despite the whole COVID situation, it was going to be a lot less this year, and with Lucy progressing within uni, she's not able to get as much holidays as well to come up here, so things are getting a little bit harder. But
yeah. Well, you guys. So, Lucy, what's the plan for you in terms of education wise? What's happening?
Oh boy, why did I pick this? So I finished, as of last Friday, finished my second year of medicine. So I've got 3 years to go, and then I'm qualified and out in the working world. And oh my god,
yeah,
it's going to be a long 3 years, but hopefully it'll be worth it at the end of it. And all the blood, sweat, and tears.
Yeah, it's certainly long. But yeah, so thank you very much, guys. But to sum it up, finally, from both of you, I'd like 3 words that sum up what transplant sport has done for you and what it is.
I could be really smart here.
That's what it's about, ingenuity, I think.
My 3 words are changed my life.
It's a good one.
that was good.
Thank you.
Oh,
Right,
I was just gonna say family, pride, and respect.
Yeah, I think
Family's a good one. They are a big family. A lot
yeah,
of them.
absolutely.
Transplant family. So.
Yeah, exactly, and it's something that I chatted to Steve about earlier. It's just like everyone knows what you've been through, which is amazing. But anyway, thank you very much, guys, for joining me, and we're going to have plenty more of these coming out to shed the light on transplant sport. Massive thanks to Lucy for helping out organising all of it. It's honestly brilliant, and I'm looking forward to finding out some more stories about it. So it's brilliant stuff. Thank you. I'll see you next time.